What's cracking, YouTube? It's me, your host, Tim, aka the Comic Book Thug. Once again, bringing you a comic book review. Yes, comic book review. For the last couple of weeks, I have not been doing any reviews because, quite simply, there hasn't been any good comic books worth doing reviews on. And I don't. It's been some good books, but I just didn't want to jump into it and just do a review on issue 12, and I haven't done 1 through 11. So, but this is a book that I have been keeping up with, and they've been coming out almost like once a month, and that's the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 3. If you didn't see my previous video, my pickup video for my pull list, which I put out yesterday, look to the side. I think it's on this side or this side, or just click on my profile and you see the video. And I said I promised you I was gonna do this, and I was gonna do another review, which was Deadpool vs. Carnage, issue 4. But I don't have usually I have notes to the side about what the comic book is about. So you might see me doing this, flicking through it, just so I can. I know off the top of my head what the comic is about, but you might see me do like this just so I can stay in tune with the timeline of the book. But let's just jump straight into it. So again, this is Amazing Spider-Man issue number 3. As you can see, I like this cover. It's the Black Cat. I'm gonna say before I start. No, I'll say after I finish, because I don't want to say something y'all like, well, fuck it, I don't want to see the review then. But the cover's nice. I like the cover. It's Black Cat's like tearing through the page, whatever. So let's jump straight into it. It picks up like the last 2 issues. We see this strange girl in this room, and what obviously has spider powers. Now she's standing on the ceiling, but now we have a name to go with, not a face but a body, because they haven't shown her face yet. But her name is Cindy. I didn't even look at the book of that. Her name is Cindy. So we have a name to go with the body. So this is just leading up to Spider Girl or Peter Parker's sister or Spider Woman, whatever they want to do. So something happened, and we find out that she's not just in a regular apartment. She's like in like a facility, and she's locked in. But something happened where she's able to get out, but a strange a guy comes on the screen, and his name is Ezekiel, and and when she's about to escape, go through like the different pin codes to try to get out, he says you don't want to leave, blah blah blah, and he talks her into staying, and she basically just falls down and stays. That's it. That's it for that. For her, because they basically just give her 2 pages every issue. That was it. So then we go to the Black Cat, and she's still mad about when Superior Spider-Man kicked that ass. When Superior Spider-Man whooped her ass, she's still mad about that. So she's basically trying to put a plan together to get Peter. To beat up Peter Parker. So that's pretty much that. She says something very nice that I like. She says, funny I spent years stealing money to buy champagne and caviar instead of just stealing the caviar and champagne. I actually like that. I like that. So she's basically getting back to her roots. She realizing what she need to do and who she is, and but she can't get the fact that she feel embarrassed that Superior Spider-Man whooped that ass. So she wanted to get payback on that. Then we go to they show Electro, and he's basically having nightmares. He's sleeping on the street, and he's having nightmares about Peter Parker. I didn't realize how fucked up in the brain Spider-Man made him. Like, he thinks that Spider-Man really ruined his life, so he's having nightmares about Spider-Man. That's pretty much that. Then we go to Peter, and he's with his the people he work with, his coworkers, and they're basically saying like they think he's bipolar because, remember, he started this company when he was Doc Ock, and Doc Ock was very hard and didn't want nobody to slack off, but now he's like Hawaiian shirt day, casual Fridays, and they're like, oh, this guy must be bipolar. So they're kind of confused with that. But then a fire breaks out, and Spider-Man gets there to try to rescue the guy. Rescue the people that's in the building, and someone's there, and it is, what's his name? Hold up, I keep on forgetting his name. His name is Ollie, Mary Jane's new boyfriend, which was very awkward. It had to be awkward. And they run into each other, and actually Spider-Man actually says, hey, I know you. And Ollie said, you do? And then Peter remembered, damn, I only met him as Peter Parker. So he cleaned it up very nice. So they team up together to save this little girl. And is it a little girl? Yeah, they team up to save this little girl. They say they make a good team. And we go to we go to Jameson, and he's on the Fact Channel studio. He's at the Fact Channel Studios, and he's thinking they're gonna try to set him up for an interview where he can take the blame for everything. He basically blames Spider-Man for everything that happened, with the Goblin War and everything. And they say, no, we don't want to blame you for anything. We want to give you your own television show. So that's gonna be interesting. I look forward to that. I want to see it because that guy's crazy. So basically, Peter and Ollie save the little girl, but before Ollie gets trapped underneath of a piece of the roof, and it fell on top of him. And when Peter go to save him, the Black Cat come. And don't forget, Spider-Man. Peter wasn't Spider-Man for the longest time. It was Doc Ock, so he don't know what happened. So he thinks she's there to help, and he's like, okay, help me. And she attacks him, and she starts scratching the hell out of him, and he's like, what the hell is going on? But then he realized what happened, because he was still inside of Doc Ock's mind. He realized that she wants revenge. So basically, he fucks with her mind. He starts talking like Dr. Octopus. Like, he says stuff like, what do he say? He says, I am still Octavius, and now the die is cast. I don't know what that means, but anyway, he basically just started talking like Dr. Ock, and she gets scared, and she says, I need to regroup. She thinks that it's still, because he tells her before he started doing it, that wasn't me, that was Dr. Octopus, and she kind of believes, but she kind of don't. She's 50-50, so he say, fuck it, I'm just going to pretend I'm still him, and he scares the living crap out of her, and she basically just takes off running, and he says, I can't believe that worked. So basically, he gets Ollie to safety, and when he's saved, Mary Jane comes running up, and she's basically so relieved that he's okay. And Peter Spider, he's on the side. She don't see him, and he says, "Damn, that's how." So that's how he see how worried she was about him, about Ollie, and he says, "Damn, that's how it must felt when she was with me, but every day." And he says, I think she does need space. So that's basically the end of that. So then we go back to Black Cat. We in the comic book going back to Black Cat, and she basically finds Electro on top of a roof, rocking back and forth, blaming Spider-Man for his problems, and feeling bad that he can't go anywhere. He has nowhere to live. He basically has no food, and she basically offers him a partnership, like, let's work together so you can get your revenge and respect, and we can get rid of Spider-Man. That's basically how the comic book ends. Now, what I was going to say at the beginning of this comic, I didn't like it. Now, let me tell you why I didn't like it. It was a good story, but I was never a fan of Black Cat. Like, going back to the cartoon, I just wasn't a fan of her. So, like, to see a Black Cat dominant issue, it just, and really, to be honest with you, out of this book, Spider-Man was only probably in the book about 4 or 5 pages, and that was the burning building. This was mainly about Electro and Black Cat, but more than anything, Black Cat. It was probably like 60% Black Cat, 30% Electro, and 10% Spider-Man. 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, there we go. And like 10% Peter Parker Spider-Man. So I'm just curious about this what's her name again? I can't believe I forget. Cindy. I'm curious about this Cindy character. Like, that's supposed to be the next Spider-Woman. So I'm guessing it's gonna lead into the Spider-Verse comics. So I just wish they come out with the comics more often than probably they do, because they come out so slow. But anyways, that's pretty much my review of Amazing Spider-Man issue number 3. I hope you liked it. If you did, like, subscribe, leave your positive and negative comments below. Again, sorry that I haven't been bringing videos the way I used to be, but no good comments really have been coming out. So, but I will be bringing another review probably at the end of this week. Let this marinate on my channel for a while. And my next review will be Deadpool vs. Carnage issue 4. This was wow. But Again, like, subscribe, like I said. Leave your positive and negative comments below. Follow my Twitter and my Instagram, which is in the description below. And as always, from Toon, aka the Comic Book Thug, have a nice day. Salute.
That's all, folks.